I believe that ICP is a must-have in my portfolio. Now, while some people may disagree with me because they say, oh, take a look at the price of ICP, it's dumping all this type of stuff. It doesn't concern me because I have a long-term vision. And I still do believe that during this bull run, ICP could hypothetically go to the price of $500, even though nothing I say is financial advice. But why is that? It's because when I take a look at the internet computer, some people like to say that, oh yeah, it's trash, it's caca, but I completely disagree because take a look at people usually move in trends. They like Bitcoin, they like Ethereum, they like Solana, Cardano, they like NFT projects, DeFi projects, whatever the case may be. And I think it's only fair to assume that the internet computer does become the next big project. Now, it's not a small project by any means, but I think it has the potential to be one of the big dogs, so to speak. The reason being is because when you take a look at the internet computer, some people like to say, oh, take a look at this layer one blockchain, take a look at this other one. But the internet computer is statistically just very amazing. People like to say Ethereum's the best, but I think Ethereum can't even hold a candle to the internet computer. Not in terms of adoption, not in terms of reputation or fans or hype, but I'm talking about pure fundamentals and also just from a cost point of view. The average cost per instruction on Ethereum is over 40 million times more expensive than the internet computer, not to mention the internet computer for $1 worth of smart contract data. On there, you can get over 200 million bytes as opposed to on Ethereum where you can get only around 44 bytes. I mean, that pretty much speaks for itself. Come on. The internet computer, I think, is arguably one of the best projects out there. And sometimes people don't understand this, but I do. Because even if we take a look at beyond these statistics, the internet computer is heavily focused on decentralized AI. Now, this is going to be a big narrative, in my opinion, because I think being focused on just regular AI, that's the thing of the past. We need something unique. We need something different. And that is decentralized AI, which we all know through this, arguably scalability is a lot better. And also on top of that, arguably there is more security. So I think that that's the forward-thinking mindset that the internet computer has. They're thinking beyond the curve. They are already preemptively thinking that, hey, in the future, people are going to like decentralized AI, which is why they're focused on it as of right now. This is a genius move, by the way, because I think it's much better anticipating something as opposed to chasing it. Just imagine if I was surfing in the ocean, I was on a board, let's say. Is it better if I chase a wave that's 50 feet away? Or let's say I position myself in that position so that when the wave does come, I can surf. I think it's much better anticipating that as opposed to chasing it, because if I were to chase it, again, I'm not Aquaman. I can't do that type of stuff. You know what I mean? Now, some people may think that, oh yeah, when it comes to adoption for the internet computer, I get it. It's a very amazing project. It's not going to have the best in the next 6 months to a year. I totally understand that. Here's the thing. The ecosystem is complete caca compared to Ethereum or even something like Solana. I totally understand that. But again, it doesn't really matter because during a fully fledged bull run, people usually care about anticipated adoption as opposed to adoption in its current form. And even if we take a look at Solana having a bigger ecosystem than the internet computer, it doesn't necessarily mean that it has good adoption either. Take a look at how Solana is primarily known for having meme coins. Nothing wrong with that, but, it is what it is. The adoption isn't the best in my opinion. And I think that the internet computer, again, during a fully fledged bull run, people don't really care about that. When they see something like this, which is statistically, by the way, the world's most productive blockchain, again, statistically speaking, allegedly, I think this could be such a big narrative because this is a very special project in my opinion. Again, people don't really care about adoption in its current form. Think about this, right? I got a 34 on my ACT. Does it matter in my life as of right now? Absolutely not. No one randomly goes up to me and says, hey, what's your ACT score? No one cares about that. So the way I take a look at it is that, yeah, sure, getting a good ACT score, that's going to hypothetically help someone get into a good college, which I did, by the way. But even besides that point, it doesn't matter now. It's irrelevant in my life. You know what I mean? Which is why I do believe that much like the internet computer, adoption doesn't need to be the best. But I think people care about anticipated adoption. So that's all that matters in my opinion. And I do believe that the internet computer is equipped to handle large-scale adoption because, again, when you have features like being very scalable, very fast, very decentralized, also on top of that, very low in gas fees, I do believe that these are traits that people often look for. And I think it's only fair to assume that moving forward, as more developers do pop up, I think they're going to choose a place much like the internet computer, hypothetically. Now, reaching the price of $500, some people may think is insane, but keep in mind, if Bitcoin, let's say, were to go to the price of $250,000, would this seem insane? I don't think so. And even Charles Hoskinson, as his worst case prediction for Bitcoin, he does see $250,000 in the cards all the way up to $500,000. He did say this back in November, and he said he could very well see this in the next 1 to 2 years from then. So could you imagine that? Bitcoin doesn't need to go to $500,000. If let's say it just goes to 250,000, could you imagine what happens to ICP? That's going to sizzle right there. $500 may seem a little bit bearish. Now, again, if it goes to the price of $500,000, would I love it? Absolutely. But do I think that's realistic? I don't think so. But still, even besides that, if ICP were to go to the price of $500, at that point, considering current circulating supply, market cap would be around $240 billion, which is still over $300 billion less than Ethereum's all-time high market cap. And Ethereum isn't that dynamic. If something like Ethereum can make it this far, can have this good of an adoption, if it has that much fans and hype, it gives me great confidence that something like the internet computer is going to be around for a very long time as well, because Ethereum is complete caca. It has to rely on these Ethereum layer 2s to fix all this type of stuff. The internet computer does not need that. Not to mention Luna Classic. I mean, come on. That thing has no future. It's pretty much off into the abyss. But still, even despite that, it sees good price action here and there. And that even found a bottom, which is crazy to think about. So when you think about in the world of cryptocurrencies, the standard hasn't been that high yet, in my opinion. Despite having over 600 million crypto owners, according to Crypto.com research, which is more than ever before in history, keep in mind this isn't even 10% of the world's entire population. So the way I view it is that we're still very early, hypothetically, even despite a lot of people saying, oh, the crypto space is already massive. I think that there's still a ways to go. And I think that ICP, it's not only going to be around during this bull run, but I think even for multiple cycles to come, for decades to come, because it is very special in my opinion. Now, some people may think that, okay, when it comes to the internet computer, exposure is bad because advertising is not great, but I disagree with that. Exposure is pretty good when it comes to ICP listed in a bunch of major exchanges. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's the best adoption, or should I say the best exposure, but it doesn't really matter because I think the amount of exchanges that ICP is listed on as of right now, I think that's already more than enough to hypothetically allow for it to reach at least $500 during this bull run. But that's just my point of view. Now, what am I going to continue to do when it comes to the internet computer? More specifically, when it comes to ICP, I'm going to continue to dollar cost average. So anytime an income, acquire, hold, and I just wait because, instead of trying to predict what happens to the price tomorrow or next week, in the next 2 weeks or whatever, I'd much rather just have a cool, calm, and collected mindset. Anytime an income, acquire, hold, and I just wait because if I'm too focused on the price charts, first of all, it's very stressful. And sometimes, let's say I go all in, the price dips even lower, then it's a bad idea. Let's say I keep thinking it's going to go lower, then it goes up, then it's also a wrong move. So what is a way for me to stay in the game long term? Because after all, it is a marathon, not a sprint, by dollar cost averaging. So anytime an income, acquire, hold, and then just wait. The beauty about this is that it removes a lot of stress. I think there's already enough stress as it is in just like daily life in general. I think that no one's life is ever perfect. So why add additional stress through day trading, using leverage, or reading price charts in a day-to-day basis? That's just so complicated in my opinion. Now, this is just all my point of view, but I like to keep things simple by dollar cost averaging. And again, ICP at the price of $500 during this bull run wouldn't surprise me whatsoever. Despite the price pullback, I think better days are ahead. And make sure to subscribe if you gain value from this video. I'd greatly appreciate it. It's been Lee the Captain, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. I'm out. Peace. Bye.